currently with Joe, and we are about to explore the Lagoon 38. Just arrived in Australia, new model.
That's right.
Joe, tell me all about it.
So super exciting for us here. The Lagoon 38 takes over from one of the most successful Lagoons ever built, which was the Lagoon 380. So we're bringing new generation design and volume to this entry-level Lagoon catamaran. So come with me and let's take a look.
And who would you say this is for, Joe?
So look, this is for couples, it's for small families, or it's for anyone just wanting a simple and easy entrance into cruising catamarans. Now, the fact that it's the smallest boat in our range shouldn't undermine its capabilities. So we have people picking up this size Lagoon in Europe and sailing them all the way back to Australia. So it's a seaworthy boat. It's Category A, ocean rated. It can do it all.
Plenty of room there too for a 38.
It does, yeah. So we'll just go through a bit of the layout here. So the new generation of Lagoons are super open and super spacious, with seamless flow between the saloon that we have here and the cockpit behind. And that's aided by the huge doors here. So 3 panel doors, all pocket away, completely out of sight. Giving us a nice open area. And this is very configurable. So we've got a external dining here, and currently set up is the internal coffee table. And we can lift this up and dine inside. This bench seat here can spin around. It is fixed now, but it can spin around. And we can also join those 2 dining tables. So it can be one long, massive table. This is kind of the version 1 layout of the 38 Saloon. We do have a new option coming, which is maybe for more of those Liveaboard cruisers, which is much more comfortable L-shaped bench, permanent fixture, with a backrest that flips fore and aft. So you've got storage underneath. You can seat facing forwards, watching TV or something like that. Or you can have it doors open, facing aft, dining in the cockpit there. So super open, super light and airy here.
Yeah. Plenty of shade too with the cover there.
Plenty of shade, yeah. If we just head back out into the cockpit here, the coach roof extends all the way aft. So even the bench seat here at the back is still just about under that coach roof. And we can enclose this as well. So for those living aboard or doing that long distance cruising, we can enclose the helm station. So that's fully encapsulated. And then we can enclose this aft area as well. So it's not just a cockpit, it's more of an extension of the living room or the saloon when you're living on board or spending extended amounts of time on board. The cockpit floor here, we have a beautiful flexi-teak deck, which you can see. It's a really nice soft finish, and then engine room access either side is nice and clear. And when we open the engine rooms, it's important to note that the lockers open aft, so access is very safe. If you're at sea, checking your oils, checking your levels, it's a nice, safe place to be working on the engines, despite being at the back of the boat.
And how much horsepower on each side?
So we've got 29 horsepower on each side, and they're a Yanmar engine, super reliable and very economical, the Yanmars as well. So we put Yanmar on the whole fleet.
Yep.
Let's head up to the helm station, shall we? So the helm station on the 38's offset to starboard. It's what we call a kind of a sports top design. So I've got very clear visibility to all 4 corners of the boat here. I can see my transoms down through the cockpit as well as the bows for maneuvering. All the navigation is here. Electric winch, so my working winch for operating all the sails, halyards, sheets and lines. And good visibility of the rig.
So you don't really need to even go forward, do you? You can do everything just from here.
Yeah, you can do everything from here. You can do everything with what I call the white sails, so the Genoa and the main sail from here. If you're flying spinnakers or Code Zero, that kind of thing, you do need to go forward to rig it.
Yes.
But generally, it can all be done from here, or the cockpit. If you're flying spinnakers, the winches for the sheets are in the cockpit. So, all within reach, which is what's really nice on a boat of this style.
And how does it go towards wind?
Look, it depends on the conditions for sailing to windward. It is a catamaran. It's always going to prefer sailing off the wind and downwind. If we want to be sailing on the wind super tight, then that's why we go racing, and that's why we buy monohulls. But here we've got long distance cruising comfort, and we've got a 38-foot platform with the volume and the space of what we'd have to get a 60-foot monohull for. So.
Yes. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? The
Exactly.
space, the comfort.
Yeah.
You're not on a lean.
You're not alone.
Yeah. And what sort of what's the speed that we're sort of looking at with this? Like, is there a top speed a comfortable top speed that you could?
It depends on the conditions. There are so many variables: wind speed, wave conditions, the sails. You know, the ability of the sailor is often the biggest indicator of speed as well. So, you know, sailing well on a catamaran of this style, if you're getting half wind speed, so, you know, 10 knots of wind, you're sailing on the beam, you're 5 knots through the water, that's good. If
that is good.
15 knots of wind, 7.5 knots through the water, that's considered good.
You cannot complain about that.
You can't complain about that. You know, once you get to kind of 20 knots and the boat's hitting, you know, 9s, that's when you're reaching hull speed. So the boat's not going to go much faster at that point.
Yep.
But that's when you start to reef
Yeah.
and reduce the sail area to reduce pressure on the rig. So, yeah, half wind speed is a good rule of thumb for a cruising boat of this type.
Sounds
Let's
good.
head forward, shall we? Up on the bow here, plenty of seating, sun lounging, really good working deck. So I mentioned earlier for flying those spinnakers or code zeros, plenty of working space for unpacking that and getting it set up, but a great place to hang out anyway.
Yeah.
Watching the sun go down on anchor. It's yeah, certainly a nice spot to hang out. Important to note, on this 38 we have a self-tacking headsail. So it really helps with sailing short-handed. You know, you can tack the boat by simply turning the wheel. Boat goes through the wind and the sails do their thing, flicking over. So very accessible short-handed sailing on the Lagoon 38.
Makes it easy.
It does. We like easy.
Yes.
We like easy. Plenty of storage on board as well. So big storage lockers in the front of each hull, just underneath my feet here. And then if we notice, looking around the deck, we've got all the hatches are flush mounted.
Yep.
So reducing the trip hazards and issues on the deck.
Yep.
Yeah, super easy to walk around.
Plenty of room for solar too.
Plenty of room for solar. The coach roof is intentionally a little bit flatter than coach roofs have been historically, to make sticking solar panels on just that little bit easier. Plenty of handholds as well as you move around the boat. Let's take a look inside, shall we? So we covered this area a little bit earlier, and here we have the galley. So it's a forward galley, which I quite like because you can be preparing lunch, dinner underway, and you can actually see where you're going. You're not stuck down in a hull, you're not facing backwards.
Yeah.
So if you're short-handed, you can be on watch, looking out the windows, making a sandwich.
How hard to be watching.
Pretty tough, eh? Right. Pretty tough. Big fridge here. We've got our lunch in there at the moment.
Lovely.
But big fridge there. The standard fridge setup is just the bottom unit, split between a fridge and a freezer. And then the upgraded package is 300-litre refrigeration unit that we have here.
Yep. Lovely.
Moving down, let's go to this side, I think, first, because this is the guest cabin hull, if you like. There are two cabins in here, and both these cabins share a head. So we're in the aft cabin now, and yeah, super light, lots of space.
And once again, look, you've got views out the side. You can see what's going on.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Plenty of ventilation, fans if you need them. We can obviously air condition it as well with the addition of a generator on board.
Yep.
And we're also actually working on a solution at the moment for silent air conditioning, so lithium batteries, powering air conditioning units overnight, which is nice because you're not relying on a diesel generator while you're sleeping. Again, we're in the forward cabin now, ventilation, light, and a nice full beam bed taking up the whole width of the cabin here.
Lovely.
So plenty of space for sleeping.
And a bit of shelf space too.
Bit of shelf space there. There's hanging room behind the door here.
Yep.
And then just outboard where you're standing, Mark, we have a shared bathroom. So this doubles up as the day head, and as well as the bathroom for the cabins on this side. And the logic there is, rather than try and make two toilets on this side and half the size, we make one big toilet that they share. It's much more comfortable for everyone involved.
Yes.
Coming straight over the saloon and down the other side, we come into the master cabin. So berth forwards on this, full beam berth again, beautiful hull windows there, ventilation.
Plenty of headroom too.
It is, yeah, plenty of headroom. I think it's a 2-meter headroom throughout, a little bit less here in the doorways. But
You could nearly do yoga on that bed,
Yep,
Joe.
yep,
if
you could.
needed a place to do yoga.
Yeah, yeah. Plenty of places to do yoga on the Lagoon 38. Moving aft, just outboard here, we have a little workstation. And a lot of feedback that we've had from owners or from people looking at the Lagoon 38 is when you're in the master cabin, there's a sliding door here which disconnects us from the saloon, right? When that's open, it's actually really wide. So if you're a liveaboard owner, without other people on board, you can spend time in here and it doesn't feel like you're down in the bottom of the boat in a hull tucked away. You're still very, very much part of that main area due to the size of that doorway letting in all that light. So it's a good setup, plenty of hanging room, comfortable stools. There's hidden storage pockets everywhere. If I pull the door closed, then that's another storage.
And that cuts the sound out too. It really
cuts the sound out.
Really
massively.
did cut the sound out, didn't it? Yeah. I love it.
And
a nice, decent sized head for the captain's stateroom, and once again views out the window.
Yeah, the head is aft, and I like the aft head on this because it gives us maximum space, and that's a usable space. You know, the berth at the front is uncommon on a cruising cat of this style, and that's the reason that the head is aft is because that's where you need to move around. You need to you probably spend more time during the day in that area, in the shower, in the head, in the toilet compartment. So why not make that bigger?
Yep.
And the sleeping area, it's still a very big bed, but it's just at the front.
Yeah.
All right.
And Joe, for the price of this boat in Australia at the moment?
So the base price is just under $1.1 million. And that's a sail away base price. So that includes shipping to get the boat to Australia. That includes commissioning on arrival, all the checks, all the systems checks that we do. We rig the boat, we stand the mast, we fit sails, we demos, we test sail it. On top of that price, we then build our options.
Yep.
Okay, so there's whether you want air conditioning, generator,
solar,
extra navigation gear, code zero rig set up on the bow.
As a rough estimate for all those extras, if you were doing some Bluewater cruising, what would you say, an extra 100?
Yeah, look, allow an extra 200 to go for a medium spec boat.
Yes.
Yeah, so around about the 1.3 mark would see you sailing in quite a lot of comfort.
Lovely. Yeah. And it's got a warranty too, I see on the...
It has, yeah, it's got a very good warranty. So the best in the industry, all Lagoons now come with a 7-year warranty on the structure of the vessel. The engines, the Yanmar engines, through Yanmar, we get a 5-year warranty on them. That's only on Yanmars fitted in Lagoons, so that's a real bonus. And then we also get a 3-year general warranty. So, all the fixtures, fittings, componentry.
So really, for that amount of time, you could be sailing the world for 7 years.
Yeah.
Carefree.
Yeah.
Under warranty.
Absolutely. Yeah, and talking of sailing the world, a lot of our owners, Lagoons are built in France, and we sell... As TMG Yachts, we sell Lagoons to Australians who want their boats in Australia, but also who want to pick their boats up in France at the factory. So they order the boat, we have it built in France, they fly to France, we fly to France, we commission the boat for them, and then do a week of handover with them. And
then just sail it back?
Yep, we teach them their boat in France, and we go, and eat saucisson and French wine in the evenings. And then they set off into the Mediterranean and enjoy all the best cruising grounds.
That sounds like a 7-year trip just there.
Absolutely. More than 7 years.
Joe, thank you.
Yep.
Fantastic walkthrough.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
Cheers.